Praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of here and the hereafter. We praise Him as He is the only eternal and everlasting. And He who has subdued His servant with death and extinction. We convey our greeting and salutation to the Holy Prophet of Islam and his pure progenies. Sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ibadallah, awsikum iyai wa taqwallah. يقول الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا يتخذ المؤمنون الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين ومن يفعل ذلك فليس من الله في شيء إلا أن تتقوا منهم تقات. The believers should not take the non-believers as authority instead of believers, and whoever does that has no relation with Allah whatsoever, unless you do so to protect and save yourselves. As usual, we start with a reminder. First, turn off your cell phone and refrain from conversation. Since tomorrow is the anniversary of the birth of Imam Muhammad al-Jawad, alayhi salatu wassalam, I would like to take this opportunity first and foremost to offer my congratulations to our living Imam. May Allah hasten his return, inshallah, and to everyone around. Today also coincides with 43rd anniversary of the success of the Islamic Revolution in Iran in 1979. So while there is a huge party going in Iran, we at least here we offer our support and sympathy. Those of you who paid attention to the news media during the last week or so, for 5 or 6 days, the Western media was focused on the child Al-Maghribi, Rayyan Al-Maghribi, that fell into a well and ultimately lost his life. While we sympathize with the parents and everybody else regarding the loss of a child's life, but I wonder what happened to the same media regarding the children in Yemen, the children in Syria, the children in Iraq, the children in Afghanistan, where they are being slaughtered by mass, hundreds of them, and we don't hear anything in the media here talking about them. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, there is a seminar on the families and the children, orphan children in Afghanistan at the Dearborn Hotel. There are some flyers put outside if you want to have a look, and if you can attend, it will be helpful. And to remind the seniors like myself within the group that the senior program starts on Tuesday again after a short lapse due to the spike in the COVID. So this time, to welcome everyone, we are not going to make it complicated. It's going to be a light-hearted kind of games and so on. So inshallah, you will attend on Tuesday. As I indicated, tomorrow is the anniversary of the birth of Imam Muhammad al-Jawad. The period of the life of Imam Muhammad al-Jawad, starting from at least Imam Muhammad al-Jawad until the short occultation, is considered to be one of the most turbulent and problematic period for what we call the Shia Ithna Ashari Imam, because of a number of factors. Number one, the ruthless policy of Bani al-Abbas in isolating the Imams and bringing them from Medina to Samarra and Baghdad and keeping them under control, not allowing them to have contact with anyone of their own community, let alone anybody else. The age of the Imam at the moment of accepting the Imamah, which is, some people say 7, some people say 8, created huge amount of turbulence within the Muslim community, particularly those who really had no in-depth understanding of what is the concept of Imamah. Because the first question was, how can a child at the age of 7 and 8 become the Imam of the entire Muslim community? That period also coincided with the rise of what we call theological, philosophical, as well as juristical schools within Islam. It coincides with the rise of Shafi'i and Ibn Hanbal as 2 schools of theology in Islam. Also, we have Mu'tazilas, Waqifiyas, Ghulat, and everybody else, as well as the Zaydis. At that time, they were all operating within this huge mishmash of the Muslim community, not to mention anything that was coming in from outside. The fracture of the Shias also led to the crisis that we have. And you can see this by the drifting of, because of the age of the Imam, drifting of some of these Shia, even scholars at the time, going to Abdullah ibn Musa or Ahmad ibn Musa, 2 brothers of Imam Rida, rather than accept the Imamah of Imam Muhammad al-Jawad because he was a child. Now, these are all acceptable. I mean, these are historical facts. But there is another issue which I want to focus upon and draw a conclusion and see whether there is a theme that we can pay attention in our time. That particular time coincided with the disintegration to a degree of Bani al-Abbas. Al-Khilafah al-Abbasiyya began to fall apart. The Turks soldiers took control, and they were the one who would remove a Khalif, kill him, and replace him with somebody else. And that destabilized the whole institution of Khilafah al-Abbasiyya. Naturally, because Khilafah al-Abbasiyya was so unstable, it posed a question that previously we had seen the same question being asked by Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq salawatullah salam alayhi. Why the Imams did not rise up to challenge the institution of the political institution of Bani Abbas and take control of that political power. Particularly when we look at the exclusive political legitimacy claim that Ahlul Bayt had to leadership. Right from Amir al-Mu'mineen until the 12th Imam. You can see this through the narratives, ahadith, and so on, that Ahlul Bayt says, this is our exclusive right to be the leader of the Muslim community. Amir al-Mu'mineen starts, لَنَا حَقٌّ فَإِنْ أُعْطِينَاهُ وَإِلَّا رَكَبْنَا أَعْجَازُ الْإِبِلِ. We have an exclusive right to leadership if people support us. Otherwise, we will be disempowered. So, if there is such a claim to an exclusive right to legitimate power and leadership to be the right of Ahlul Bayt, why is it that we see when Bani Umayyah were going through the same kind of things during Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, he didn't rise? When Bani al-Abbas go through the same thing, Imam Muhammad al-Jawad and the rest of them, they don't do anything. Instead, they live within the state of taqiyya, which the verse at the beginning alluded to, which means they were afraid of the political establishment and the surrounding. And they had to work, as they say, without publicizing about it. If we look closer to the political development at the time, there is a lesson we can learn from it. During the time where Bani al-Abbas, the political establishment was going downhill, it wasn't purely a Sunni establishment. At that time, we had even Shia dynasties rising up. When the central government is weak, naturally around the periphery, people begin to claim power. And we had Shia dynasties coming to power, such as the Buwaid and Hamdani and others. But one finds it very difficult that these people come to power, and they are, at least theologically and juristically, they call themselves Imami schools. They don't do anything to press the already weakened Abbasid dynasty to fracture apart so that you can ask the Imam to come and take control. They are prepared to play the political game, play homage to the Imam, to the Khalifa al-Abbasiyya, so long as they remain in power. This is something that we really need to analyze it a little bit more, but take a lesson from it. The lesson is that if we were to take control of any power, and we are not prepared to be the maverick and change the existing narrative of the power that prevails, and we are going to simply follow like everybody else, pay homage to the existing power, nothing is going to change. And if tomorrow Imam comes, if the entire, say, political establishment are controlled by the Shias or by Muslims or by minorities, if they are not prepared to really challenge the established order, Imam will be in halat al-taqiyya as it was 1,000 years ago or 1,200 years ago. For the younger generation here, I strongly recommend a book by Frantz Fanon, a post-colonial writer, called Black Skin, White Mask, that talks about and analyzes how the minorities, when they are put in power, they play the game of the majority, and they are not prepared to change anything. We saw it in Obama, we saw it in others. The skin is black, but the mindset is white, Caucasian. He pays lip service to Islam in Cairo, and when he came to power, there were only 5,000 drones operating in the United States. The entire army control. By the time he left, 17,000 drones were operating and assassinating people around. For those of us that feel happy that now we have Muslims here or minorities there, we really need to go back, step back and ask ourselves, are these individuals, whether in the local, national or international, are these individuals challenging the dominant order or not? If they are not, what's the difference between a slightly dark-skinned Middle Eastern with the pure white Caucasian? If the mindset is the same and we are prepared to operate only within a paradigm that the white dictates. We saw Mandela in South Africa alluding to the same thing, to the post so-called peace and so on. He said, we have Africans in charge, but the mindset is still white. So, for those who were happy that Hamdanis or Buwaids or anybody else came to power as Shia and dynasties, but what changed? That's the question that we have to ask. If we change anything, sometimes the Caucasians that are, they would like to serve social justice. They would challenge the establishment more than anybody else. So if Imam comes, if you don't want the Imam to remain in taqiyya, if you are in charge, you have an obligation to challenge the dominant discourse and change it, become a maverick. May Allah enlighten and help us to discharge our duties as we should, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal asr. Inna al-insana lafi khusr. Illa alladhina amanu wa aminu as-salihat. Wa tawasaw bil-haqqi wa tawasaw bil-sabr. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، نحمده ونشكره ونستعينه ونتوب إليه من سيئات أعمالنا، ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين. أخواتي وإخواني الأحباء، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. عباد الله، أوصيكم وإياي بتقوى الله. عن الإمام الجواد عليه الصلاة والسلام روي عنه أنه قال: لو سكت الجاهل ما اختلف الناس. وما أكثر ضجيج الجهلاء في عصرنا هذا. في 10 من رجب عام 1995 هجرية بالمدينة المنورة عمر بيت الرسالة الطاهرة موج من السرور والبهجة احتفالاً بميلاد الإمام محمد الجواد عليه الصلاة والسلام، وهو الإمام أبو جعفر محمد بن علي الرضا ابن إمام موسى الكاظم عليهم السلام أجمعين. أما أمه فهي من أهل بيت ماريا القبطية، أم إبراهيم ابن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. وعاش الإمام في ظل أبيه الإمام الرضا حوالي 8 سنين، وعاصر أحداث البيعة بولاية العهد لأبيه إمام الرضا عليه السلام وما صاحبها وتلاها من حوادث ومحن. تقلد الإمامة وهي في 7 أو 8 من عمره الشريف، وبقي الإمام محمد الجواد بعد حادث استشهاد أبيه في منعة من كيد المأمون الذي قتل الإمام الرضا عليهم السلام. إن ظاهرة تولي شخص للإمامة، أي زعامة الأمة الإسلامية روحياً وفكرياً وعلمياً ودينياً، وهو لا يزيد على 8 سنين، هي ظاهرة ظهرت لأول مرة في حياة الأئمة على عهد الإمام الجواد. وإن هذه الظاهرة وحدها كافية للاقتناع بحقانية هذا الخط الذي كان يمثله الإمام الجواد. إذ كيف يمكن أن نفترض فرضاً آخر غير فرض الإمامة الواقعية في شخص لا يزيد عمره عن 8 سنين، ويتولى زعامة الطائفة في كل المجالات الروحية والفكرية والفقهية والدينية. ينتهي عهد المأمون في سنة 2018، وتربع أخوه المعتصم على كرسي الخلافة، ولم يسمح للإمام الجواد أن يتحرك، وراقبه بكل دقة في كل نشاطه الاجتماعي والسياسي. ثم اغتاله على يد ابنة أخيه المعروفة بأم فاضل التي زوجها المأمون من الإمام الجواد عليه السلام. يمكن تقسيم الحياة القصيرة لهذه الإمام المظلوم إلى قسمين و3 مراحل. القسم الأول حياته في عهد أبيه، وهي المرحلة الأولى من حياته القصيرة والمباركة وتبلغ 8 سنوات. القسم الثاني حياته بعد استشهاد أبيه حتى شهادته، وتبلغ حوالي 17 سنة، أنه كان الإمام عند استشهاده تقريباً 25 سنة عمر. وينقسم هذا القسم بدوره إلى مرحلتين: حياته في عهد المأمون وتبلغ حوالي 15 سنة، وهي أطول مرحلة من مراحل حياته القصيرة، والمرحلة الثانية وهي مدة حياته في عهد المعتصم العباسي وتبلغ حوالي 2 سنين. لقد ظلم التاريخ والمؤرخون على طول الزمن شأن هذا الإمام وشأن سائر أئمة أهل البيت عليهم السلام، الذين لم ينصفهم التاريخ كونه كتب بأقلام أموية وعباسية سلفية إجرامية تكن لأهل البيت الرسالة والنبوة والإمامة حقدا دفينا. أما الوضع السياسي في حياة الإمام الجواد عليه السلام، فقد امتازت هذه الفترة وهي زمان الخليفتين العباسيين المأمون والمعتصم بأنها فترة خف فيها حسب الظاهر الاضطهاد والإرهاب نسبة إلى فترات السابقة. وإذا درسنا موقف الخليفتين المأمون والمعتصم من الإمام الجواد، يشير بوضوح إلى أهمية شخصية الإمام وموقعه الرفيع في النفوس وميل الأمة إليه باعتباره الرمز الممثل لأهل البيت. ولذلك نجد المأمون يستقدم الإمام من المدينة سنة 211 ويقوم بتزويجه من ابنته أم الفضل في محاولة منه لاستيعاب موقف الإمام الجواد وضمه إلى حاشيته واحتواء حركته الجماهيرية في المجالين الفكري والسياسي. لكن الإمام كان يعرف الخطة، كان على العكس يرفض البقاء في بغداد ليكون بعيداً عن حصار السلطة ومراقبتها. وبعد موت المأمون جاء المعتصم للسلطة، فكان كأسلافه العباسيين على خوفه من إمامة أهل البيت ومكانتهم العلمية والسياسية، فاستدعى الإمام من المدينة إلى بغداد 2019 ليكون على مقربة من مركز السلطة والرقابة ولعزله عن ممارسة دوره العلمي والسياسي والشعبي. ولم يبق في بغداد إلا مدة قصيرة حتى اقترف المعتصم جناية قتل الإمام عن طريق دسه السم إليه في أواخر شهر ذي القعدة عام 220. فسلام عليه يوم ولد ويوم استشهد ويوم يبعث حيا، وجعلنا الله وإياكم من التابعين لمكتب أهل البيت عليهم السلام إن شاء الله. اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا محمد كأفضل ما صليت وسلمت على أحد من أنبيائك ورسلك، وصلى على خليفته من بعده علي بن أبي طالب، وصلى على فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين، وصلى على سبطي الرحمة الحسن والحسين سيدي الشباب أهل الجنة، وصلى على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي، عجل الله تعالى فرجه وسهل الله مخرجه وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره والمستشهدين بين يديه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
على محمد وآل محمد.
رجاء قراءة سورة الفاتحة على روح أمواتنا جميعا، لا سيما الروح المرحوم العلامة الشيخ محمد جواد الشري، قبلها الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.